Live local breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 6.
No problem.
This is the Kalamazoo Police. This gathering is contrary to city ordinance. Your 10 minutes have long expired and you now face arrest.
Good evening, I'm Callie Rainey. Thanks for joining us tonight as our city is on edge. Protests turned violent this afternoon when alt-right groups came face-to-face with opposing groups. Some members at the opposite ends of the spectrum both came out into downtown Kalamazoo toting guns. We have live team coverage this evening to break down today's events. News Channel 3's Genevieve Grippo is live outside Kalamazoo Public Safety to tell us what police are saying about their response, which included pepper spraying protesters. But first, we start with News Channel 3's Trisha McCauley. She's joining us live from Arcadia Creek Festival Place in Kalamazoo, where two opposing protests clashed this afternoon. Trisha, you were in the middle of the crowd when violence erupted. Tell us what you saw.
Well, Callie, things between the Proud Boys group and counter-protesters turned violent very quickly. The initial clash was less than 10 minutes tops, and in that time, multiple fights broke out, some even using street signs as weapons. An ambulance did come out to the scene, and I saw multiple people walking around injured. Just take a look at today's scene. That was at times tense and scary. This is the scene of the Proud Boys group and counter-protesters meeting for the first time in downtown Kalamazoo. Both groups shouting back and forth, protesters saying you're not welcomed here. The Proud Boys group chanting 4 more years at the crowd. Halfway down Water Street, things turned violent. Multiple fights broke out, bottles thrown, pepper spray deployed, and even street signs used as weapons. Multiple people walking away from the scene bloody. The confrontation continues as the Proud Boys turn down Edwards Street. The crowd grows, and that's when we got word that police officers were on the way. Counter-protester Noelle Massey tells us what she experienced.
It turned violent immediately. They attacked individuals that were yelling that they did not have a place here. They were not welcome here. There was a man knocked unconscious. His face was bleeding. I was just pepper sprayed down there by a member of the group, trying to keep the peace and stand in between. The clash lasted less than 10 minutes. Kalamazoo police showing up about 7 minutes into the violence. Officers seen here walking in a straight line down Water Street. Michigan State Police also on scene, blocking off Arcadia Park, telling everyone to clear the area or they faced being arrested. I was at the scene earlier today where multiple groups were gathering here at Arcadia Creek Festival site opposing the Proud Boys group. They wanted to let them know that they were not welcomed here. I did see multiple police cars surrounding the park on about every corner, but when things turned violent, police were not able to respond right away. Reporting live in downtown Kalamazoo, Trisha McCauley, News Channel 3.
All right, thanks, Trisha. Well, here's a look at cell phone video showing dozens of members of the Proud Boys group marching down Michigan Avenue this afternoon. You can see a lot of them carrying American flags as they walk through downtown Kalamazoo. The Southern Poverty Law Center lists the Proud Boys as a hate group. You can see in the video a few people are trailing the group. You can even see a couple people carrying long pieces of wood in this video as they yell at the group ahead of them to get out of Kalamazoo. Now we want to show you what the protest looked like before the violence started. People armed with guns and walkie-talkies stood at the entrances to Arcadia Creek Festival Place today. Some members of both opposing sides brought guns to what was supposed to be a unity rally. We first told you earlier this week that social media posts showed the Proud Boys plan to rally in Kalamazoo today. So then the First Congregational Church filed papers with the city to reserve the Arcadia Creek Festival site all day today. According to social media, it was the same time the Proud Boys planned to rally. You can see in the video here police clearing the festival site. This was the second time they had to do that. When officers in riot gear first cleared everyone out, tensions escalated. The church planned to have speakers and prayers, but that never happened today. And after police first cleared Arcadia Creek Festival Place, our crew saw a long line of Michigan State Police troopers lining a downtown Kalamazoo street. This morning, we saw at least 24 MSP troopers parked at the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety. Earlier, city officials told us KDPS would be monitoring the protest and counter-protest and would be prepared to act quickly. News Channel 3's Genevieve Grippo is joining us now live from Kalamazoo Police Headquarters. Genevieve, tell us how the department says it's going to keep the peace after a day of unrest.
Callie, Assistant Chief of Operations Vernon Coakley tells me that he believes the Proud Boys came here looking for a fight. He says now that they got it, he does not think that they're going to be back later this evening. Now, I do want to mention we do still have a few of those MSP trooper cars here at the police headquarters. Coakley says the department was aware of today's gathering and was prepared to respond in force. Before the fight broke out, dozens of Michigan State Police cruisers remained ready here outside of KDPS headquarters. Coakley says police crews went in with a strategy not to engage with protesters until things got violent. He says when the fight started, officers created a police line and used mace to disperse the crowd. He says there were multiple injuries and arrests, but does not at this time know how many. Coakley says today police used lessons they learned when responding to protests over the last few months.
I'm expected to be just as we look. Look at the park, peaceful. That's what I'm expecting for the rest of the day.
Some people are criticizing police today for their reaction, saying that they don't believe police did enough to protect the city, and that has prompted a second protest planned for tonight here at police headquarters at 7:30 p.m. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Genevieve Grippo, News Channel 3.
All right, thanks, Genevieve. Well, our cameras did capture police using pepper spray. One of the protesters sprayed later, pinned to the ground and detained. You can see police hold the man on the ground before putting him into a KDPS cruiser. We've also seen video on social media of police arresting a journalist who works for local media. When we talked to police, they were not able to provide us with any additional information. And we have been following the story from the very beginning. We have pictures, video from our crews, and cell phone video from some of you. To see a gallery of some of it, just head to our website, wwmt.com, or you can check it out on our free News Channel 3 mobile app. All right, turning to the weather now. You're looking live over downtown Kalamazoo with our Peregrine Tower camera. Meteorologist Will Haney joins us live from his living room where he is tracking some showers. Hey, Will.
Yeah, hey there, Callie. Now, while we were removed from the severe weather risk just a few hours ago, we're still dealing with some storms today, and some of them produce some hail and gusty winds just a little bit below severe grade. Now, if you're curious, you need 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail to produce what is deemed a severe storm. Now, live Doppler radar, again, that's not to say it's been necessarily quiet for all of us. At times, it might have looked in your location like it was going to rain, and maybe you were underneath one of these showers. They were producing some efficient rainfall in Kent County, now into Ionia County, and then as we look there in southern Eaton County, about to cross over Interstate 69, and even in the Comstock area, there was one report of inch in diameter hail at about 410. That was right near the Sprinkle and 94 interchange. So we look a little bit farther south as well. Sturgis, for example, just got in on a shower and one storm pushing out of cold water. These weren't too strong, but they did produce some lightning and thunder and some really efficient rain. As I mentioned, that shower that was over kind of the Sprinkle and I-94 interchange and then just south of Galesburg produced, it looks like on radar, in the Cooks Mill and Scotts area, over an inch, possibly over 2 inches of rainfall. So some lucky farmers there. Your evening fastcast, though, these showers and storms, at least this initial wave, dies down with the daytime heating and as we lose the sunlight. But then another round expected late tonight. We're going to be talking about that and the impacts for your Sunday in just a few minutes.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Will. Well, school starts in just a few weeks for most schools. The state Senate approved a package of bills focused on the return to school in the state. Today's session came just hours after state leaders announced they had reached an agreement after months of contention. News Channel 3's Andrew Feather was in Lansing today, and he tells us what this could mean for students here in Michigan.
Saturday sessions are exceedingly rare here in Lansing, but legislative leaders say it's that important to get the bills on the governor's desk as quickly as possible. Now, the legislation has received support from teachers' unions in the state, but some administrators say it will cause unnecessary headaches. Just hours after Republican and Democratic leaders announced an agreement on a return-to-learn plan, the state Senate passed the package of bills. Under the plan, school boards will be required to review their reopening plans monthly. Also, while in-person education for K-5 students is recommended, the deal doesn't tie in-person education to school funding, which was included in a House-passed version of the package. Also, while in-person education for K-5 students is recommended, the deal doesn't tie in-person education to school funding, which was included in a House-passed version of the package. A mandate requiring students to wear masks isn't in the plan, nor is state funding for schools. In a statement, Republican Lana Tice, chair of the Senate Education and Career Readiness Committee, said, quote, "Entrusting local education leaders with the flexibility to make more and better decisions will increase opportunities for educational enrichment and help improve student achievement."
Online saves lives.
Outside the Capitol building, about 100 socially distanced protesters gathered, urging state leaders to require a remote start to the school year, among other safety measures. There, 1,200 pencils were placed into the ground. They represent the number of students and educators protesters estimate will die from COVID-19 if in-person classes resume in the fall. Detroit teacher Nina Chacker was among the protesters. She says the agreement is progress over previous plans, but doesn't go far enough.
It's a step in the right direction. I think we just need to keep going. We're not there yet. So we can say sure, we'll take it. We can also say we're not there yet.
Still, education unions in Michigan came out in support of the agreement. The Michigan Education Association and the American Federation of Teachers sent out a joint statement supporting the package. It says that legislative compromises are never perfect, but that the bills provide students, parents, educators, and districts both certainty and flexibility. The Michigan House of Representatives is set to convene Monday morning, where they're expected to approve the back-to-school plan. State leaders say they hope to have the bill signed by Governor Whitmer by the end of the week. In Lansing, I'm Andrew Feather.
Protests in West Michigan turned to unrest and violence. Why people are saying police response just was not enough.
As schools get ready to start.
After a day of unrest, police in Kalamazoo say they're expecting a more peaceful night tonight. This comes as a group is expected to hold another protest in about an hour. News Channel 3's Genevieve Grippo is live from KDPS headquarters to explain how police reacted when that violence broke out earlier and why some people say it just wasn't enough. Genevieve?
Well, Callie, police say that they knew there could be violence today and they were prepared to respond. Assistant Chief of Operations Vernon Coakley telling me they purposely chose not to intermingle with protesters until that violence erupted, and once it did, they stepped in. You're watching some of that violence now as opposing groups clash at the Arcadia Festival site. After establishing a police line, Coakley says police warned everyone in the area to leave or to be subject to arrest. Coakley tells me there were multiple injuries and arrests, though we are still waiting to get an exact number. He says police eventually used pepper spray to disperse the crowd. Coakley says the Proud Boys came here today, many of them from out of our area, looking for a fight. He says now that they got it, he's expecting it to be a quiet night. However, we are learning another protest is planned here at KDPS headquarters at 7:30. That protest, called the Protect Us, Don't Reject Us rally, organizers say they're protesting both police and city officials for not doing their job and keeping the city safe tonight. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Genevieve Grippo, News Channel 3.
All right, thanks, Genevieve, and we will be checking back in with our team coverage in just a few minutes. To see our complete coverage, head to our website, wwmt.com, or check it out on our free News Channel 3 mobile app. Today, people in South Haven are honoring citizen heroes. Here's a look at some photos of the hooligan flight team flying over South Haven, Bangor, Covert, Saugatuck, and Douglas today. Those planes are vintage World War II aircraft. That's pretty neat. In the past years, a salute to veterans was held, but this year they're saluting first responders, healthcare workers, essential employees, and people who follow the COVID-19 safety protocols. These flyovers were sponsored by Star of the Lake Masonic Lodge in South Haven and Saugatuck Masonic Lodge.
This afternoon, some showers and storms developed pretty quickly, especially in Kalamazoo County, Kent County, and a little bit farther to the south down there in St. Joseph County. Those were the three biggest storms that I saw. And yeah, they were storms. They produced some thunder, some lightning, and even in that Kalamazoo County storm, a little bit of hail. Right now in Holland, though, one of the locations that's been spared from the rain today, it's looking mostly sunny. Temperature-wise there, 82. The rain did cool us down a little bit in Kalamazoo briefly, 80 in Kalamazoo and 80 in Three Rivers, but those temperatures will likely rebound a bit into the late afternoon and evening tonight. As far as live Doppler radar is concerned, though, you can see still a few showers and storms working their way through, one crossing over I-69 right now in Eaton County, and the rest are pushing out of West Michigan. But that's not to say we're totally over with the rain just yet. This was a photo sent in by John Ennis in Portage, and likely on the east side of Portage, if I had to bet, that's where the storm was impacting. You can see he had a hailstone, it looks like right around quarter size, which also confirms a report we had right around the Sprinkle and I-94 interchange just before 5 o'clock. So hour by hour, doing a good job of showing those showers exiting here in the next 30 minutes or so. But watch that area of some clouds and showers that works its way in after midnight tonight into the overnight and while you're sleeping through early tomorrow morning. We'll see additional showers and maybe even some isolated rumbles of thunder push through in that time frame as a cold front swings its way on through. So by around 9-10 o'clock tomorrow morning, any showers wrapping up, then the clouds slow to exit into the afternoon, but we should see some sunshine into your Sunday afternoon with gorgeous temperatures in the lower 80s, and you'll feel that humidity dropping literally throughout the day tomorrow, so it should be pretty nice. Now, as far as how much rain, I know we could certainly use it. Most of us should stay below 1/10 of an inch, which is pretty measly to say the least, but isolated totals over 1/2 inch are going to be possible if we see those downpours like we saw in spots today. I had one woman tell me that she hit it and it was like a wall of super intense rainfall where she couldn't really see even out her windshield that much, one of those showers earlier on. Sunday's rain chances, though, again, just highlighting the morning between about 8-9 o'clock, and then the rain really tapers off after that. It's 80 right now in Kalamazoo. We're sunny, wind is calm now, but it's going to turn northwest late tonight at about 5 miles per hour. Some showers and storms possible. Also can't rule out, at the very least, some patchy fog similar to what we saw early this morning. 83 is the high tomorrow. Again, morning clouds, then increasing sunshine during the afternoon. It's about a 30% odds of those showers and storms. A few sprinkles possible Monday afternoon and evening, although that chance even lower than tomorrow's rain chances with a high of 80. The big change, though, is tomorrow we lower that humidity, and that low humidity air sticks around the next couple days. And look at the mornings. Early Tuesday, early Wednesday, lows in the middle to upper 50s. It's finally going to be that cool, refreshing mornings that we've been missing these last couple days. Callie?
We've been missing. Will, I had to wear a light sweater this morning.
All right, that's a good point. I guess if you're out early enough, it's not too warm.
There you go. All right, thanks, Will. Well, two opposing sides clashing in downtown Kalamazoo. We have a live report from the site of the unrest next.
Will special needs students get the...
It's been a day of protests and rallies here in West Michigan. Today, the Proud Boys, an alt-right group, held a rally at Arcadia Creek Festival Place where they clashed with counter-protesters. News Channel 3's Trisha McCauley was there this afternoon. She joins us now live from downtown Kalamazoo. Trisha, can you tell us what you saw today while you were out there and this was happening?
Callie, I can tell you it's a much more peaceful scene right now than it was just nearly 5 hours ago when the Proud Boys and counter-protesters clashed and things turned violent. Now, things started around 11 this morning. Multiple groups opposing the Proud Boys came to Arcadia Creek Festival Place. Organizers say they wanted to greet the Proud Boys to let them know they're not welcomed here in Kalamazoo. When the Proud Boy group arrived, things turned violent immediately. The initial class less than 10 minutes, and in that time, several physical fights broke out, some even turning street signs into weapons. An ambulance did come out here, and I saw a number of people walking away injured. About 7 minutes into the violence, police officers were walking down Water Street to address the crowd, but at that time, things have already broken off. Michigan State Police, they were also on scene blocking off Arcadia Park, telling everyone to clear the area or they would face getting arrested. Now, the violence continued throughout the city, and police continued to monitor the situation. Live in downtown Kalamazoo, Trisha McCauley, News Channel 3.
All right, thanks, Trisha. Well, that rally is not the only one going on here. A rally called Protect Us, Don't Reject Us is scheduled to start at 7:30 this evening. That's in just 1 hour. Protesters will be gathered outside Kalamazoo Public Safety's offices on Crosstown Parkway. And we've been tracking today's events from the very beginning. To see our complete coverage, just head to our website, wwmt.com, or you can check it all out on our free News Channel 3 mobile app. All right, switching gears now, there's another launch delay for the SpaceX's next astronaut mission. The target launch has been pushed back from late September to no earlier than October 23rd. This is according to NASA. The rocket will carry 4 astronauts to and from the space station. SpaceX hopes to follow the success of its historic first mission, which just wrapped up earlier this month. All right, well, one girl got a dream day many of us may be jealous of, a shopping spree to Target. The Make-A-Wish Foundation surprised 10-year-old Lauren with 2 shopping sprees. She was given more than $1,000 to spend at Target. The preteen and her family even had the entire store to themselves. Awesome. Well, before she hit up Target, she spent around $3,000 at Bailey's Furniture. I wonder what she got there. Lauren is battling an ovarian tumor. The shopping spree let her temporarily forget about her medical concerns and just enjoy buying some of her favorite things. Such a great story there, Will.
Yeah, definitely. You know, something I think, well deserved for sure. And temperatures tomorrow also going to be much cooler than we were today. 83. We'll see some morning showers and storms, and then quickly turning sunny into the afternoon. So by no means a washout. A few sprinkles Monday afternoon, but then upper 70s for highs on Tuesday. Definitely the peak day of the week. Callie?
All right, thanks. Well, we will be back here at 11 on News Channel 3. And of course, as always, you can check us out online and stay up to date with us.